yeah, so I don't. I know I said last week that you should always leave candy out for people coming to your house on Halloween. I decided
Yeah,
I
and then,
saw one too many assholes not wearing costumes, and I just ex-nayed all the candy altogether.
yeah, we didn't even we last went to my in-laws' neighborhood because they have like the good candy, and didn't even leave a bowl out. We're like, screw you, stupid kids.
I just decided to get the hell out of town. We went up to
Yeah,
Edmonds, got
yeah.
we got white girl wasted with some friends and took our kids trick or treating like good parents do. Huh.
We found a bunch of we found like like the have you seen the new solo cups that are like they're like this tall but they're like kind of thicker and more insulated.
Uh-uh.
So they're like big, huge red like cups like this, and you can put a lid on it. And my father-in-law, he's got like root beer,
Mm-hmm.
so he just poured a bunch like two of those in a cup and like walk around like, all right, that's what I'm doing next year. I'm filling
Nice.
up a big ass cup full of beer
Yeah,
or alcohol,
we
something.
got a bunch of those like those cups you can take like jogging. You can hook them on your wrist, and they got the little straws. Yeah, we filled a bunch of those with some Kettle One vodka and some cranberry juice, and
Oh, nice.
and I enjoy Kettle One, but I'm not necessarily a vodka snob. But apparently everybody decided to party since Halloween was on a Saturday, so I went to the store to get some liquor, and all the middle shelf stuff was gone. All the bottom shelf and middle shelf was just not there. So
Yeah.
the cheapest fifth I could get was Kettle One vodka. So oh well, whatever.
Kettle One's good. I love
Yeah, it's
Kettle.
great, man. No hangover next day. It's
The
great.
Dutch vodka and being half Dutch
Well,
represent.
that half Dutch. Well, we're 2 minutes in and we already started recording, so we should probably say hi to everybody. Hello.
Oh, thanks for coming
And I don't
back
know.
once again.
We're back once again. I don't know. What do you think? Should I just start the music?
Well, typically, it's kind of something that you would do at the beginning of your show.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, we them bad boys. Sip the cane, yeah, yeah. C's, the SSL, Buddy Aces. Let's go, let's go. On your mark, please, Sam, let's go. When I spit this.
So when he gets a second, another like CD or something, do we gotta start playing those songs or?
We don't have to play anything.
Uh,
Pacific
we
Game
just
and
we
MC
just haven't
Savage
found
was
anything else.
super generous and awesome to donate their music so we could use it royalty free on our wonderful little YouTube iTunes Pod Hell show we got going on here.
Because we are everywhere.
We are everywhere. Welcome everybody to episode 33. Bam. Throwing up some gang signs. Of the Geek Dad Report, the one show dedicated, formulated, specially created to making you guys happy and smile and really just entertained a lot
And informed.
and informed with what, Ryan? What do we inform people with?
I don't know. I honestly, I hope we're informing them with news,
Yeah.
but I think half the time we're just being really dumb and funny. So
You can speak for yourself. I am always smart and awesomeness and super and smarter intelliger.
well, there's a reason why you're the host.
Yes.
Right.
It's because of my pretty face.
Yes.
Which does nothing for our iTunes listeners. Which, funny enough, you can find us on iTunes and podhell.com if you only like our audio version. If you like our video version, as always, you can find us on watchplayread.com or youtube.com
On WPR Show's channel.
on
And
WPR
which
shows. Don't forget
we
to
get
subscribe,
some
people.
subscribers every now and then. So
Like,
put it up.
listen, love, subscribe, and share.
Yes. Spread your love seeds all over the place.
Spread. Yeah. You can help us spread our love seeds everywhere, which is even weirder, I guess. Anyway.
There's nothing wrong with love seeds, Brian.
Love is in the air. It's kind of a gross song if you think about it. You got just love seeds in the air everywhere, just in the face.
Someone's got to do it.
All right, man. What were we talking about? I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh yeah,
We're
nerd news.
introducing and talking about our stuff.
We were talking about being informed with all the latest news you need to know so you can stay super smart and just dazzle your friends with all your knowledge that you get from our show.
And when that one weird coworker starts talking about something, and you can be like, you know what, Geek Dad before he talked about it, and
Well, and fun fact, Ryan, I just found out that all of the news podcasts that we compete with, our competition, you know, they're way over here, like not nearly as cool as us, but our actual competition, they don't even air their show till Friday. So if you are a Geek Dad Report listener, you get all the news a whole day before everyone else. Well,
yeah.
Technically, it's like a whole 4 hours because they all air theirs Friday afternoon, but ours is up Friday morning, people. Friday morning for you guys.
Yeah. And they are not. I'm tired.
They are not your type. They are, I don't know, they're cool too. But we are cooler, and you guys, we just want you guys to feel special and know that if you listen to us, you get all the news, the weekly news, and all our valuable, brilliant insight hours before all the major outlets.
Media outlets that,
I mean, let's be honest, they don't hold a candle to us.
You know, those guys that get paid to do it.
They get paid? That's how awesome we are. We do this for free. That's how much we love you guys. We do this shit for free because we love all of you, our listeners and viewers, because you guys rule.
But if anybody wants to start sending us some cash to do the show, we'll totally take it.
Yeah, if you want to send us cash, we'll figure out how you can do that. In the meantime, I do want to give a shout out to a very special listener. Trevor from California sent me this. Look at this. Look at this, people. All our listeners.
Freaking head, Brian.
What?
I said that thing just they're almost the equivalent of your head.
For all the listeners who aren't watching on YouTube, this is actually like a 2-foot tauntaun. It's a Luke Skywalker Hoth tauntaun, and it's freaking huge and it's awesome. And it's still in the box. He told me I could open it if I want to, but I don't know. I feel like if I gotta open this beast, I gotta give it its own special opening ceremony.
So that's a new one, right? Is that
no, this is from 2002, man. This is kind of old.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But he noticed all the wonderful toys I have on my shelf back here, and he thought this would be an amazing addition, and it was just taking up space, and so he direct messaged me and said, "Hey man, I'm gonna send this to you," and I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "All right," and I didn't think he actually sent it, and then it showed up at my house.
Dude, I'm mad jealous.
Yeah, you should be. It's so awesome. So thank you, Trevor. It is, as you can tell, I am super excited to have this. And we were just going to rip it open, but I want to give you and its just deserves and give it its own special segment. So I'm going to think of something really cool. And like I said, as you can tell, this thing is ginormous. It doesn't even fit in my screen. So I'm going to have to think of something pretty cool. But we will open it. We will have the grand opening of a
You can put a shelf or a stool down over by Superman. And then it can stand up and take up all the shelves over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make its own special thing so it can be on the show, but it will be on the show once we get out of the box. So, thank you, Trevor. We do really appreciate it, and I'm super excited to open it up. It's almost like Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Made me turn my lightsaber on. Woohoo! So, I don't know. You got anything to add to that, or do we want to jump into our news?
I think we can just jump into news.
Yeah,
sounds good to me.
Well, I'm queuing it up, everybody. We got some cool new segments for everybody we're going to kind of roll out today. Other than our Ninja News, we also have some Geek Dad Reviews, a new segment where me and Ryan are going to start reviewing some awesome things that people send us and say review. So we got that coming. We also have a new comic segment, Comics That You Crave. A lot of people want to know what comic books we like. We occasionally recommend them, and we've decided that every week we're going to we're going to pick a comic and we're going to review it together and talk about it. So you got that to look forward to.
The published, we get about 40 comic books every single week from publishers. So might as well just start reading one and reviewing it on our show. So.
Yep. So we got that going. And then of course we got our Q&A as always. You guys give us some really interesting questions as usual. And then followed by our just normal recommendations, which is a little bit different than our reviews, which is just stuff that we think you guys should do. Yeah. So, without further ado, I think it's time for some news, Ryan. It's time for some
I'm always good for
It's
news.
always good for news. There's danger in the air. There's danger news. Ninja news.
Ninja go, ninja go, go ninja, go ninja, go.
Hurrah!
Ninja go, ninja go.
Hurrah!
Ninja
I
go,
like punch.
Double fist. Blah!
Cut off fast.
Yeah. Uppercut Ryan. Bam! I think you're over there. Alright. Ninja news time, people. Well, as always, we start our ninja news off with some Star Wars news. Tonight, we start off with kind of a field type of story, other than news.
This one's sad.
It's sad, but it's also kind of cool. So I'm gonna put the ninja lightsaber sword down here.
I'll turn on my lightsaber for.
We'll give them the lightsabers after the story's over.
We'll do a lightsaber salute after.
We'll do a lightsaber salute. So this story is about a Mr. Daniel Fleetwood. So basically, Mr. Fleetwood in July was diagnosed with terminal cancer, very rare form, and they gave him about 2 months to live. So he has exceeded the 2 months, but that being said, it is a terminal condition, and he's not going to make it through the year. So the reason why I mention this is because Mr. Fleetwood is a diehard, lifelong Star Wars fan, and his dying wish, his dying declaration was that he wanted to be able to see the new Star Wars movie before he died. And obviously, being that he was not going to make it to the premiere, his girlfriend started a kind of a Twitter campaign to try and get the powers that be to grant him his dying wish. So she started a hashtag Force for Daniel and started reaching out to a lot of people. Some of the actors from the new movie, like Mark Hamill, kind of got on board, basically saying, "Can we please make this happen?" A lot of people got on board, and J.J. Abrams and Disney got the word, and they granted Daniel his dying wish. And this week, he got a knock on his door, and 2 representatives from Lucasfilms were at his door with the unedited first copy of Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and they set him up.
They had guns, and they were like, "If you,"
I'm pretty sure they didn't threaten a man who may not make it through the month, but yes, I'm sure he was sworn to secrecy. But when they arrived, JJ actually personally called him and wished him well and said that he was happy to be able to do this for him and talk to him for a little bit. So obviously, this doesn't end with him being magically cured by Star Wars, but it's just a cool story of the way that something like Star Wars touches people, and I think it's amazing that, props to you, JJ, and Disney for doing the right thing, and I think it's amazing that you did this for him and you gave a dying Star Wars hardcore fan his last request on this earth. So,
all right, lightsaber salute.
Lightsaber salute.
I don't know. We need to learn how to do a real lightsaber salute.
No, we need some cool music or something. So, Mr. Fleetwood, I doubt you'll ever see this, but if you do, good luck and Godspeed onto your next great journey. And I'm glad you got a chance to have your last wish filled. So, may the Force be with you.
Yep.
So on to some other Star Wars news. Obviously, the movie comes out next month. We can finally say it comes out next month, Ryan.
I know.
There's a lot of people who
we can talk about it for the next 8 months.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of people who are planning on dressing up as usual for a Star Wars premiere. I remember the prequels; everybody and their mom was dressed up in costumes and stormtrooper outfits. Unfortunately, because of some of the jackass dipshits who want to, ruin our movie experience for us and like to shoot up theaters and do horrible things like that. We are not going to be able to do some of the things we have been able to do in the past for Star Wars premieres. A lot of theaters are actually going to be banning masks, any toy weapons, as far as like blasters, stuff like that. So if you want to go as Han, leave the blaster at home. You can still wear a costume as long as your face isn't covered and you're not carrying a weapon. Some theater chains like AMC are going to be allowing people to have lightsabers as long as you don't light it up once you're in the theater. Anybody who does will be asked to leave. So if you do want to bring your lightsabers, please make sure that you power them down. AMC is one of the few chains that is allowing them. So we recommend that before you go to the movies, check with your local theater and see what their policy is going to be. A lot of them aren't even allowing any kind of face paint, so don't show up as Darth Maul. You won't be let in. Unfortunately, this does kind of suck, obviously, but it's the world we live in, and I understand it, but...
Yep, and it just takes one asshole to fuck it up for everybody else.
Yep. So, anyway, just kind of an FYI, little public service announcement from the Geek Dad Report. So you can fully enjoy your Star Wars premiere. Make sure you check with the theater, and if you plan on dressing up, finding out what you can and can't do. I still haven't decided whether I'm going to bring my lightsaber or not. I think I will. I got a cool Force Awakens shirt that I'm going to wear, and I might bring a lightsaber. We'll see.
I'm not bringing this one. That's for sure.
Your Ultra Saber? Why not? See, you could totally get away with it.
Some fucker's going to steal it from me.
That's true. But you could pretend yours is a cane. So if your theater don't let you in, you could be like, it's my cane. Put on some sunglasses.
Whack them with it.
There you go. And then if they say, why would a guy with sunglasses come to a movie? Then you just turn it on and just go full to Sith on him and just beat him down.
That's a good plan.
Yeah, see? I come up with all kinds of good ideas. Some fun Star Wars news is they just actually released some. It's not really news, I guess. They just released a whole bunch of new character posters this last week. We put them up on our Facebook page. They're pretty awesome. There's 5 of them. They got Rey, Finn, Kylo, Han, and Leia, and I don't know. I think they look awesome.
Still no Lukey.
No Luke. I did not expect to see Luke amongst the character posters, considering they have left him out of the trailer and all marketing. So
I can't. I'm just so wondering if is it because he doesn't play a big part, or is it just that they just.
Personally, I think he's going to play a
bigger part in everything.
I think it's going to be very Obi-Wan. He's going to be gone for the first third of the movie, and then I think he's going to play a big part the rest. So, I don't know. But Obi-Wan was on the original poster, so.
That's true.
But check them out. Like I said, they're on our Facebook page. You can, I don't think we mentioned it before, you can find them. I also tweeted them out, so you can find us at Geek Dad Report on Twitter and Geek Dad Report on Facebook if you want to check those out. They are pretty cool. Last bit of Star Wars news that I personally don't think is really all that cool, but so the rumor is Disney is going to be phasing out the Star Wars, the Princess Leia gold bikini from their, I don't know, collective awesomeness, their merchandising. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, people, I'm talking about stuff like this. This cool Force Unleashed statue thing that I've had for years, which I think is awesome. Disney is no longer going to do. So this rumor kind of comes from, let's see, it comes from comic book artist J. Scott Campbell, who's been doing a lot of the comic books for Star Wars, for Marvel. And apparently they've been given an edict basically saying that they cannot draw Princess Leia in any kind of seductive or provocative poses in the comic books, and that they were doing a 3D model for a new statue, and it was basically just straight chopped and said from the powers that be that we are phasing out the gold bikini and we're no longer going to do it. So, you know, I understand that Disney is a kid's brand and they got to protect their image, and I think some of this stems from you know, about 6 months ago, I know some parents had threw a real hissy fit at Target because they saw pretty much this as an action figure. You know,
you can't get rid of something that's such an integral part of the canon.
You know,
I mean,
I am all for. I understand they really want to market Star Wars to girls a lot, and I mean, Rey is. I'm really excited that the new female lead in the new Star Wars movie is a new lead is a female. I think it's awesome, and I'm not against, you know, the fact that they want girls and women to want to be part of the Star Wars universe. But I'm sorry, this does not scream, you know, we don't like women and we don't respect them. It's the Princess Leia gold bikini. I mean, you know, yes, did Jabba the Hutt enslave her? Yes, Jabba the Hutt enslaved Princess Leia, who she later choked out and killed for making her wear a gold bikini. So
you got to be more PC these days, Brian.
Yeah, you know, I'm all for being somewhat PC on some things, and I am right there in the front line saying that, hey, we need more female leads in comic books, and we need more. I want Captain Marvel, and we need more movies that have, you know, great female characters. You know, we talked last week about how excited I was that I could watch Supergirl with my daughters. You know, I'm all for it, but at some point you got to say, listen, I can understand the comic books if they don't want to put Princess Leia, they don't want to make like, sexy Leia in the comics. All right, that's fine. You are reaching a target demographic. But this has been out for 30 years, people. 30 years. All right, 30. And it's an icon. The gold bikini, you can ask almost any guy in my demographic what the gold bikini is, and every single person knows what it is. It's part of our childhood and part of what we grew up. And it's kind of irritating that they're trying to get rid of it.
And people still wear them for Comic-Cons.
Yeah, people still wear them for Comic-Cons. I mean, and it irritates me this, I don't see Disney trying to phase out the Little Mermaid. I mean, she's a 16-year-old girl in a shell-top bikini who wants to run off, leave her dad, and go marry a prince. Come on, man. That is a way worse message to girls than, a 20-plus-year-old princess in a gold bikini. Look at that. I mean...
And then there's the sandcastle with the penis on it. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, Disney has not confirmed this. A lot of this is just what people working for Disney and Marvel are saying. But, it does make some sense why Disney would want to protect their image to an extent. But I don't want it to go overboard. And I hope that, Disney doesn't, what's next? I don't want them to go into the movies and all of a sudden put like a unitard on her.
Next, Han's not going to shoot first.
Yeah, I don't know, right? But anyway, I guess that's a little mini rant. It irritates me. I don't think it's that bad, and I wish people would quit being so PC. I'm all for, not just objectifying women 24/7, but, to me, this is a woman in a gold bikini who was empowered by a worm gangster who she killed for enslaving her and putting her in a gold bikini. So I don't see how that message is awful. I just don't get it. I would much rather my daughters watch this than The Little Mermaid, which is a terrible message for young girls.
Yes.
Yeah, ignore your father, run away, and marry some random guy that you met one time. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, and then find a sea witch that'll turn you exactly to what you want, but then she'll take your voice away from you. So
you got to show up wearing no pants and a little like shell bikini top. Yeah, smart. That's a way better message. So I don't know. I get irritated with little hypocrisy, and I hate it when people try to touch my Star Wars. Don't you touch it. This goes for you, Lucas. Han shot first.
Here's the early rant section of the show. So.
All right, moving on. That's all I got to say about that. If you would like to add to the conversation, feel free to hit me up on Twitter, or we'll carry it on Facebook. Let me and Ryan know what you think. Am I way off base? Is this a good move for Star Wars and Disney? Should they move on from the Princess Leia gold bikini? Or are people being way too damn sensitive? Let us know. I'd like to know. Speaking of shows that are way too sensitive, Star Trek is getting... No, I'm kidding. I love Star Trek. CBS is actually developing a new Star Trek show, which is actually really cool. Me and Ryan have actually talked at length about how Star Trek needs a new TV show. It's going to be coming out in 2017.
I'm super excited. And then continue.
And as excited as everybody is, they turn around and say, "Aha, got you. We're going to make you angry." They're not going to put it on CBS. They're going to put it on CBS All Access, which is their streaming network. Which, who knew CBS had a streaming network? Nobody. That's who.
I thought that was what Hulu was for.
Yeah, Hulu and Netflix and every other stream. And the $150 a month I pay for cable, that streams all the channels. Nope, that's not good enough. The Star Trek is going to be a CBS All Access exclusive. So they are making it only for their channel. You have to pay $6 a month if you want it.
It's going to bomb.
It's stupid. That is CBS, if you're listening, that's a stupid fucking idea. Don't do that.
And it's not going to do as good as it would if you just put it on CBS.
No, because everybody knows at some point it's going to go to CBS or Netflix or somewhere else, because no one's going to pay $6 a month to watch Star Trek. I mean, $6 a month, do the math. I can buy the box set when it comes out for cheaper.
That's true. And just frustrating, because I really want new Star Trek and I want to support it. But I'm not going to pay 6 months just to $6 a month just to support it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously a huge Star Wars guy, but I mean, I have room in my heart for both properties, and I was a big fan of the original Star Trek and Next Generation. Voyager, not as much, and I didn't really watch the Scott Bakula one.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Enterprise at all.
And I like Deep Space Nine. That got pretty good too. But you know, I'm fully on board. I really think that Star Trek needs a new show. I think it's perfect time for a new Star Trek show. And as much good sci-fi is on television, you could really do a really good new show. As far as what the show's about, they haven't released any details. They just basically did say that it's not going to tie into the new Star Trek 3 that's coming out. So my guess is they'll probably do a new crew and a new time, and you know.
I would hope they would do it after, like within the continuity of, like after Voyager. 'Cause that's kind of like the last, as far as they've gone, in the Star Trek universe. So.
What if they go like totally the opposite direction? They go USS Enterprise like 1984. The battleship, it's in the ocean.
Yeah. Well, they did. Enterprise was basically like the beginning of Starfleet.
Yeah.
Or it's the beginning of the humans in Starfleet.
Well, what time haven't they? Because they did what? They did Enterprise A, the original Enterprise, and Enterprise, what, C and D?
Yeah. They done the original and the Enterprise show was the very, very, very first Enterprise starship.
Mm-hmm.
And then Captain Kirk was, I think he had like the second or the third Enterprise. Mm-hmm. And then Picard had,
because he had two generations, or a full, what was it, 100 years later or 70 years later.
No, Kirk was still alive, I think.
Well, Kirk was only alive because he got caught in that time slip thing that Whoopi Goldberg lived in.
Yeah.
But no, well, yeah, I mean, but even then, so I mean, what? There's a little bit between Scott Bakula and Captain Kirk, and then they could go after the Enterprise, D or E. I don't know. Yeah. What would you? You're the big. I mean, I like Star Trek, but you're the huge Star Trek fan. What would you like to see them do?
I'd like to see them do one that's set after Voyager, when they got back, from the Delta Quadrant, mm-hmm. And I would like to maybe see them bring back maybe one or two characters from some of the previous shows. I mean, who wouldn't want to see Worf again, or something like that,
Well, yeah, and also there's the whole, they kind of left the whole Data situation unresolved as well in Picard. I mean, they never really wrapped up, that last movie didn't really wrap up the Next Generation crew, so
I thought Data died in that movie.
Well, Data did die, but remember his, what was it, his brother, I forget his brother's name, but his brother, like Data had saved some stuff on a chip that his brother could access, but they kind of left it open-ended where maybe Data could come back or share like consciousness with his twin brother, who was like the stupid one.
Yeah, the evil one.
Yeah, well, he was evil and then he was good, but then he was simple-minded. No, because there was there 3? Because I remember the evil one, but there was also the first one that was kind of not smart.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's been a while since I've gone back into Next Generation.
Yeah, me too.
When I had free time, like if I just need background noise, I go on Netflix and I just turn on Voyager.
I gotta finish the final. I never did watch the final season of Voyager.
It was good.
Yeah, I figured they'd make their way back at some point. All right, well, no concrete news as far as like what the show's going to be about. If we hear more, we'll obviously let you guys know, and hopefully CBS is watching this. And we say don't do it all access, just put it on CBS. A show that is not on CBS, The Walking Dead, shocker, has been renewed for season 7. In case anybody was worried that it wasn't going to be renewed. Nobody was worried.
Yeah, they're totally just gonna dump that moneymaker right now.
Okay. I'm only shocked that they haven't already renewed it for season 7 and 8. I figured this show was renewed for through season 10 already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this season started off so good.
It stayed good. The whole season's been fantastic. Well,
even the last episode where we got to find out, how
Ninja Morgan became Ninja Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really good. I will say, I don't know if you noticed, a little spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't watched the last 2 episodes. You have exactly 3, 2, 1. As we all know, we're sitting here waiting to see if Glenn is actually dead or if he's coming back. But a little interesting note. I don't know if you caught it, but they actually removed Steven Yeun's name from the title credits.
That's interesting.
So I don't know if he's actually dead or the showrunners are screwing with us, but yeah, his name is not in the title credits anymore. So, but he still hasn't showed up on The Talking Dead yet, and
yeah, because they always show up on a Talking Dead when they're.
Well, and they also have that in memory of segment where they show all the zombies and people who died, and he still is yet to show up. So, I don't know. Fingers crossed. My guess is we're gonna probably have to wait a couple episodes before we find the actual fate of Glenn.
Yeah.
This season's been great. If any of you guys gave up on The Walking Dead because of the Terminus really boring season, start watching it. The end of last season and this season have been some of the best television I've ever seen. It's great.
It's been fun.
It's been so good.
Especially the Ninja Morgan hour and a half episode. I mean, it was a huge episode.
Yeah, it could have went longer too. It didn't even feel like an hour and a half.
Yeah, and it filled in that huge gap of from when we saw him when he was just batshit crazy.
Yeah.
To how he kind of regained his humanity back. And
that was definitely it was a very solid episode. But yeah, watch Walking Dead, people. It's fantastic. A show that I'm not sure will be fantastic is Fox is remaking 1980s one's Greatest American Hero.
Yeah.
I remember watching that as a kid because I was starved for anything that was superhero. If you're not familiar with The Greatest American Hero, basically just a lovable loser one day wakes up and he has a superpowered suit in his bedroom that allows him to fly and have superpowers. And he kind of tries to figure out who. I think it was on for 3 seasons. It's a little bit before my time. I watched it when it was syndicated. But
I wasn't even born yet.
yeah, I was only a few years old when it first aired. So it was a stupid, fun 80s show, I guess. It was corny. I have no idea if Fox is going to try and keep the same lighthearted approach, or knowing them, they'll probably go try and do a realistic take on, I don't know. Who knows? But that's getting made. No date on when it's coming out, but it's in pre-production right now. So my guess is they're probably going to try and get it ready for next fall or next winter. Probably be a limited run show and kind of test it out and see how it goes. Another show that's actually being made into a series. He started out as a book series. Is His Dark Materials, better known in the States as the movie The Golden Compass. It's based on a 3-novel series from Philip Pullman.
Yes.
I've not read the books. I saw the original Golden Compass. I liked it. It was kind of in the vein of Narnia a little bit. It seemed a little bit darker. The movie here didn't really catch on in the States, but apparently people in the UK liked it enough that the BBC is actually the one who's going to be turning these novels into a TV show. So
yeah, I mean, I remember seeing the movie. It wasn't bad.
But it wasn't bad.
It was
just wasn't really memorable either. It had a giant polar bear and James Bond in it. So
yeah,
that's all I knew. But if you're a big fan of that property, like I said, BBC is going to be doing it. I believe it airs next year. I don't watch a lot of BBC shows, but they usually tend to do pretty good stuff, so it'll probably be a good show. Jon Stewart has just inked a 4-year production deal with HBO.
And he's going to be with John Oliver.
Yeah, John Oliver's show is amazing. If you're not watching Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, you should be. It's a great show. No word on what actually he's going to be doing. The first things they talked about is he's going to be producing some shorts for HBO Now and HBO Go, their streaming service. It sounds like they're going to be short hits. I'm not sure exactly for what, but it is a 4-year deal where he's going to be producing. My guess is he'll probably do some kind of a show as well, but probably put on John Oliver and Jon Stewart back to back.
Well, I mean, he's got a pretty decent production company, and they do a lot of different kind of stuff. So, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really curious to see what they bring out. So, and that would be awesome to have them like John and John.
Well, what's cool about HBO is that they're you don't have to be filtered. It's an unfiltered show. So I mean, John Oliver can get away with saying whatever the hell he wants to, and it makes it that comedy should always be unfiltered, and political comedy is best unfiltered. So I'm very much looking forward to see what we can come up with. Another show that's getting. Well, I guess it's a bad transition. Not another show, but Sci-Fi Channel has ordered a new show, a Van Helsing show based on Vanessa Van Helsing, Van Helsing's daughter.
Mm.
It's supposed to be set in the future. They're going to resurrect her, and she's the last person who can save humanity who's been enslaved by vampires. I don't know. It's another one of these reimaginings of an old property, and hopefully it'll work. Who knows?
I'm over vampires, and
Pretty much.
it's been not Blade. Like Blade is the only thing that can really get me excited about anything vampire related right now, I think.
Yeah, pretty
So,
much. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I do like I guilty pleasure watch the Underworld series basically because Kate Beckinsale is smoking hot,
yeah.
but I got a little man crush on her. But other than that, I mean, yeah, I'm with you. Vampires, we got zombies. We don't need vampires. So a little, well, before I get to this other news, the Muppets. If you're a big fan of the Muppets, I haven't recorded. Me and my kids are gonna watch it. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but it was popular enough that it's been given a full season order. So if you're a Muppets fan, you get more Muppets.
Yes.
Some wrestling news. Normally we don't do much wrestling news because me and Ryan.
Just because apparently we skip everything that's happening right now and dive into
Yeah,
it.
last time me and Ryan talked wrestling, we talked for about 40 minutes and the show was really long. So, but in honor of my super awesome Tauntaun here, Trevor, who sent me this cool Tauntaun, I'm showing the Tauntaun again, iTunes people. He requested that we talk a little wrestling news since he's a giant wrestling fan. So, I had to mention the current WWE heavyweight champion, Seth Rollins, is going to be out for 6 to 9 months with an ACL injury he sustained in Ireland.
Nice.
So
Are they
WWE
wrestling in Ireland, or was it just?
I don't know if he was practicing or was actually doing a wrestling match. I know they were on tour in Ireland, so he was doing. It's a WWE event that they were doing out there. But he blew out his knee. In WWE fashion, the show always must go on, so they're going to be having a free-for-all Royal Rumble, I believe, to determine who's going to be the new heavyweight champion. So.
Yes.
God
And
bless
there'll be
wrestling.
some
Only
big
there
spec-
can you be stripped of your title without actually losing it and then given to somebody else. So
and Steve Austin will come in with the big beer truck and hook up the hose and
I think The Rock should show up and just take it and then just leave.
Oh, the Nation of Domination should come.
Shower everybody with his movie money and just take it and walk
Yes.
out. So there's your WWE update, Trevor. That was for you. Moving on. So, Entertainment Weekly has gotten their hands on the very first images and synopsis of the new Harry Potter spinoff movie, Fantastic Beasts and Where You Can Find Them. So, I was going to post some pictures on our Facebook page. I didn't get around to it because I was really busy today. But you should head over, if you Google them or head over to Entertainment Weekly. They look pretty cool. They got a whole bunch of just shots from the movie. It's basically the movie. Anybody's not familiar with what it's about. It takes place in 1926 New York, so it's a few decades before Harry Potter. It's based on the adventures of Newt Salamander. He wrote the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them book that Harry Potter is always referencing in the Harry Potter movies. I want to say it's the one that eats. I don't know how familiar you are with Harry Potter, but I think it's the one that, like, the book that has a mouth that always eats things.
Jenny's the one, she read all the books and everything, so she has like the vast knowledge.
I read all the
about-
books, but it has been a while. But anyway, this book is basically based on that character. Obviously, it takes place, so I'm sure there'll be a few tie-ins to Harry Potter, but it's going to be its own standalone trilogy. Couple of little things that they came out, they just basically showed the cast, and it looked really interesting. But basically, the only big news is that they're not called Muggles. People without powers will not be called Muggles in New York. They have a new name. They are called No Madge.
They're called what?
No Madge. M-A-J.
No mag.
I feel like that could be abused.
Yeah, I don't know that.
I saw that and I
think
kind of
Muggle-
chuckled. I don't know if it's just the 12-year-old, and that always controls my brain. But
I think they should have just stuck with Muggles. I mean,
yeah, like I said, I don't know if it's the 12-year-old me that controls my brain that makes me think that that's funny, but yeah,
no mags.
I think yeah, I think No Madge is probably leaves itself open to be mocked, but yeah, I don't know why they decided not to go Muggles. Apparently, they decided that was an English word, and since this takes place in New York, but anyway, I'm excited for it. I enjoyed the Harry Potter movies, and I think this will be a good addition to the mythology of Harry Potter. So, if you are a big fan, check out. You probably have already seen the Entertainment Weekly pictures floating around, but if not, head over there and check them out. They are really cool. Speaking of something else that's going to be awesomely cool, Avengers Infinity War. Not really a lot of new news, but a little while ago, me and Ryan reported that the budget was reportedly going to be $1 billion for both movies. Now we might, yeah, it's massive. Now we might see why. Apparently, Avengers Infinity War is going to be the first movie shot 100% using IMAX cameras.
And those things are like $50,000 per camera.
Yeah, well, it's not even the cameras; it's the film. I mean,
Yeah.
to put it in context, it's hard to explain, but a lot of the movies that you see, like when you're in the theater and all of a sudden it goes from like a widescreen to all of a sudden like the whole screen's full, that is an IMAX shot. The Dark Knight Rises did a lot of those IMAX shots. Mission Impossible is well known for doing the IMAX shots. The cool thing about the IMAX shots is you get these really big scenes and you get all the scenery and it's just these massive scenes. And so, but they're expensive, so people tend to shoot, I think the Dark Knight Rises of the 2.5 hour runtime, I think 10 minutes, 15 minutes was shot in IMAX. So this is going to be 100% for 2 movies in IMAX. So they're definitely going for the grand feeling of a movie.
Which means they might need a lot of room because there's going to be a lot of shit going on. So
yeah. Well, if it follows any of the comic books, and it's done in space or these giant mega sets where they're on planets and space, and I think it's going to look awesome. I'm actually really excited. This news is kind of geeky nerd, like if you like the way things are shot news, but I think this is going to make the movie even cooler. But
yeah.
Anyway, if you want to know what an IMAX looks like, IMAX shot looks like I said, recommend watching Dark Knight Rises, or a couple of the last 2 Mission Impossibles were filmed in IMAX scenes. So if not, I'm sure you could Google IMAX scenes and check them out. Hotel Transylvania 3. I know a lot of us took our kids to go see it. I have not seen, or saw the second one. I have not seen the second one yet, but the third one has been.
It was actually not that bad.
Is it pretty good?
Yeah, my kids love the shit out of it.
The problem is my 3-year-old wants to see it too, so we're waiting for it to just about leave theaters so we can take her. There'll be nobody in the theater but us, so I think we might go this weekend. But I really enjoyed the first Hotel Transylvania. It was actually a lot of fun. But, yep, the third one's been announced. It's going to be released September 21st, 2018. So, no surprise. They both made a lot of money, so there's not really shocking they're making a third one.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Still doing it.
Adam Sandler. Get that Adam Sandler money. I don't care how much you hate on people. That guy's just rolling in the cash. So, Doctor Strange, another wonderful movie that's getting made right now, is under production. So, it's inevitable that we were going to start getting some random people taking pictures of their iPhones and releasing them on Twitter. And the first kind of unofficial set photos for Doctor Strange have kind of leaked out. Basically, not a lot of news, nothing crazy, nothing spoiler if you want to check them out. Basically, just shows Benedict Cumberbatch in a full beard and looking like Doctor Strange hanging out in Nepal. So anybody who's familiar with the story, like I am, knows exactly what that means. But everybody else, if you want to check it out, it's cool. That movie releases next year. My guess is I'm guessing we'll probably get a Doctor Strange trailer with the Civil War movie. I think that's when we'll get our first full trailer, but we'll see. Last little bit of things we got here. Mark Wahlberg has signed on to be the $6 billion man. Yes, $6 billion. It's a play on the old.
There is some stuff that just needs to not
get made.
Keep trying to make a comeback, and the $1 million man, and now who's not a $6 billion man.
Well,
not going to make.
Let's be honest. $6 million doesn't go as far as it used to. So.
Yeah.
Well, Steve Austin's new adventure is going to be out December 22nd, 2017. So I'm sure they're trying to boot this into a franchise. I doubt this is just a one-off type movie. There'll probably be a trilogy announced or something.
Everything's a franchise now. Yeah. They can't do a one-off movie anymore.
No, everything needs to be a tentpole, Ryan. Duh. But obviously, they just kind of announced that he finally signed, so there's no details other than that. But it's that to look forward to. Nicole Kidman is apparently in talks right now to play a secret character on Wonder Woman movie, which everyone seems to forget about. Everyone's complaining that Miss Marvel's not coming out for a few years. We got a Wonder Woman movie coming out next year, and is it next year? I think next year. Nobody's even talking about it.
because everybody doesn't want to get let down.
Well,
If,
people should
uh,
be talking about this. If everybody really wants female-led superhero movies, Wonder Woman needs to be a big hit. And even if it's not good, people still just need to go see it and talk about it.
yeah,
Because if you can't make Wonder Woman good, I mean, she's about as big of a superhero female-wise as you can get. And
yeah, she's essentially the quintessential,
yeah,
female superhero. I
yeah,
mean,
she's definitely one of the first, if not the first ever in history anyway. No word on what Nicole Kidman's gonna play. My guess is probably Wonder Woman's mom, Hypolio. I can't say her name. It's
blah.
yeah, it's Hyppollya. So if you're Greek and you want to tell me how to say that, then let me know. But I think that'd be a good casting. Basically, Wonder Woman's mom. I think it'd be cool. She's a good actress. I don't know. I'm excited for the Wonder Woman movie. I think. Of course, I'm really excited for the Batman v Superman movie too.
I'm excited for all the dumb movies to come out.
I'm excited for DC to get their universe going. Hopefully, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock has signed on to star in an all-girls remake of Ocean 11. It's going to be produced by George Clooney. Why? I don't even. I'm totally for the all-female reboot of Ghostbusters, but can we not all of a sudden?
Doesn't need to be rebooted in any way or shape or form.
First of all, we don't know how successful the all-female reboot of Ghostbusters is even going to be. Can we wait and see, make sure people like that before we decide that we want to get on this trend of just female rebooting every property? We're going to have an all-female reboot of Animal House. We're going to have an all-female reboot of Major League.
I think a sorority house, Animal House would be.
I like Bridesmaids. I thought it was funny. I have no problem with an all-female cast, but can we just make a original movie for an all-female cast? Do we have to reboot movies like Ocean 11?
Yeah.
I understand Ghostbusters, but Ocean 11?
Ocean's 11 was.
It was fun. I think I've watched it once since I saw it the first time. Maybe it's not. I'm not like, oh my god, thank God they're rebooting it.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the all-female. I just don't understand why they're rebooting it in general.
Channels and it's on, FX or something like that, and there's half an hour left. You might still watch it.
Yeah, it was entertaining, but whatever. Like I said, I just don't care. Maybe other people do care. If I'm way off base and this is a big deal, please, people, let me know. I just don't. I hate these trends in Hollywood where they just want to slap a new coat of paint on the same old car and say it's something awesomely new.
Let's just do a complete gender swap.
Yeah,
And do the exact
do
same
we really
thing.
need to have all male or all female? Why don't we have mixed cast? That'd be fine too. I just whatever.
Oh, it's gotta be one or the other.
Yeah, whatever. Apparently, we're trying to segregate the men and women.
Yes.
And lastly, news that makes me angry is Alien 5, the new Neil Blomkamp reimagining where they scrap the Alien 3 and 4 and all the other crappy ones and start over with Sigourney Weaver and Hicks, has been put on hold indefinitely.
Now, did they say why?
Yeah, so remember we talked about Ridley Scott kind of losing his mind a little bit, and his Prometheus sequel is actually going to be called Alien Paradise Lost. Well, apparently there's been rumors that he's been kind of the thing holding up Alien 5 going into production, that he wants his movie made before Fox greenlights the next one. And so, but he's a really busy guy, and so he's not even starting shooting till early next year. And so basically Neil Blomkamp, he's young, he's a hot director right now, and he basically said, I can't wait to start shooting my movie till next year, until Ridley Scott decides that he's ready for me to shoot it. And so he's basically said that he still wants to do it, but he has other things he's got to do, and he's put it on the back burner now. So unfortunately, the time was right to do this movie. All of us wanted it. I don't want a Prometheus 2 sequel. Hey, Ridley Scott, no one gives a crap about Prometheus 2. We all wanted to see Alien 5, not Prometheus 2. So guess what, everybody? We're not getting Alien 5. Now we're getting Prometheus 2 instead. So good work, Fox. Idiots. God, they can't do anything right.
You can't. That's why I don't have I don't put a lot of faith in them.
The
So
only thing I have faith in is Deadpool, but only because Ryan Reynolds is basically just handling this and doing his own promotional work.
that could be a good segue right there too.
Yeah, did you? Well, yeah, did you hear about his Halloween thing he did?
I saw the tweet that he put out.
So anybody doesn't know what
I didn't hear like anything like I couldn't find any story about if he was doing any other stuff. I just saw his tweet.
Okay, so anybody doesn't know what me and Ryan's talking about. Ryan Reynolds, we talked about on the show a few weeks ago how Ryan Reynolds stole the actual Deadpool costume from the set when the movie finished shooting. So apparently he decided to put it on and wear it for Halloween, and he was out running around as Deadpool in the official Deadpool costume. Hanging out with trick-or-treaters, and apparently he found a bunch of kids dressed up as X-Men, and started like trick-or-treating with them. And there's like this, I mean, maybe it was staged, I don't know, but there's a funny video of him like threatening the kids, like as Deadpool. It's hilarious. It's genius marketing, genius. Ryan Reynolds, you're doing it right, man. This movie needs to be good.
Ryan Reynolds knows how to market Deadpool.
God, he's doing it right. It's amazing.
And he seemed like he just loving the shit out of it too.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't get a chance to put it up on Facebook, but I think I retweeted the picture. But go check it out. You can Google it. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool on Halloween. It's hilarious. Nice job, Ryan Reynolds. You make us nerds proud. Let's see. Last little thing we got. If anybody's excited for the new iPad Pro, the 12.9-inch iPad, apparently it's going to be coming out November 11th. So there you go. And I think that's all we got. There was some new trailers that dropped this week. Won't spend too much time talking about them. We just suggest you check them out. The new Alice in Wonderland sequel trailer's coming out. Alice Through the Looking Glass. It actually looks pretty cool. My kids are excited about it. AMC's new show Preacher released its first trailer during The Walking Dead this last week. I liked it, but it was very different than I thought it would be.
It didn't seem like the comic book at all.
Yeah, so. But apparently it's heavily it follows the comic. So I'm interested to see. I'm wondering if the marketing department, because the comic book is kind of out there, they're gonna try and they want to hook people with the realistic aspect before they start showing vampires and demons and everything else. So I don't know. Check it out. Let us know what you think. And then we shared a World of Warcraft teaser trailer that was about 15 seconds long, and I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I'm someone who's been playing Warcraft for a long time and not World of Warcraft. It's still interested the hell out of me. So
yeah, so check out the teaser. Honestly, by the time you guys are listening to this Friday, I believe World of Warcraft is actually releasing their first, or Warcraft movies releasing their first official trailer Friday tomorrow. So we'll obviously post it up on the Facebook page, and I'll retweet it out, and we'll throw it up all the different places you can find us. But the World of Warcraft trailer movie trailer should be out tomorrow, so something to look forward to. Me and Ryan will talk a little bit about it. I didn't play the games. Ryan loved them, so we'll try and maybe we'll do a little analyze of the trailer next week. We've had some people on our Q&A ask us what we think about it, so this will be our first real look at it. So yeah, I think maybe next week we'll do a little trailer analysis.
Mm-hmm.
So analysis. All right. Well, that's all the news we got, people. I mean, it's hardly any.
We need news.
Oh, all right. I mean, I got a fall tradition. That's all the news we got, people. Making it rain. Woo!
Have fun picking that up, by the way.
Damn it. Why do you guys have rain on my parade, Ryan? Jerk. All right, what do we want to do? Okay, so moving on. Do we want to do my review, or do we want to do the comic books first?
Let's do comic books.
Want to do comic books? All right, so me and Ryan are introducing a new comic book segment. We're going to call it Comic Books You Crave. Basically, it's every week me and Ryan are going to pick out a comic or a comic series that we've both read, and we're going to discuss it and tell you if you should read it or not read it.
Mm-hmm. And this week we're going to start off with something Brian has already mentioned, the Shattered Empire. What is it called? The full...
It is Star Wars. Hopefully everyone can see this. It's on my iPad here. It is Star Wars Shattered Empire. That's the cover of the first one. Obviously, me and Ryan do a lot of our reading on digital format. So, It is. It is. It's
If you haven't noticed, Disney's been doing a lot of books that they say Journey to the Force Awakens at the top, and then they're bringing in all these different things. They've done a bunch of different character books, like hardcovers, and comics and everything. And this is just one of the new comics that they're doing.
This one's by Marvel, as all new Star Wars properties are, and it's a 4-issue comic. It's a little pricey. It's $3.99 per issue. So, but that being said, me and Ryan, I think we both feel that it is way worth the $16 to get the series.
If you want to know, like, if you kind of want to have the movie lets it like they won the battle on Endor, and then it just showed the rebels like woo, and everything in the Empire just said, oh well, we're done, and the Empire walked away.
Well,
and that's not what happened.
And issue number 1 takes place, I mean, literally at the
night
of the Battle of Endor. I mean, Luke is flying off the Death Star with Vader's dead, still warm body.
Yeah.
And the cool thing I liked about this comic is that it doesn't just. Well, we're gonna give a few warnings. We'll try and keep it spoiler free a little bit, but we're gonna have to talk a little bit about the comic book. So just FYI, you've been warned. The comic book doesn't follow the main characters, Luke, Leia, Han, and I think this is done purposely because I don't think that, obviously, the new movie isn't going to follow Han, Luke, Leia. It's going to follow these new characters, and this comic book does a good job of kind of showing maybe how that's going to work. Now, don't get me wrong, each issue has a main character. Leia's in one, Han's in another one, Luke is in the final issue. And they're main characters, but they're not the main character. It actually follows. I don't remember their names, but they follow this.
Cass is the.
Well, it follows a husband and wife team of rebels. One's a pilot, one's a ground assault trooper.
And the wife is like a really good pilot, and she kind of works with Leia at one point. She works with Luke at one point, and then her husband is in Han Solo's like elite kind of group. So
yeah, and basically it follows their story. The female pilot I would have to say is probably the main in this comic book, this 4-issue arc, and she and her husband obviously have ties to one of the main characters in the new Force Awakens movie. Like I said, I don't want to give away too much, but there's a definite direct tie-in. This doesn't just say the journey to Force Awakens as a to get you to buy it. It really does tie in. And the very interesting, the most interesting for me was the very end. There is something that deals with the Force that I was not expecting that really feels like it's going to have a big part in the movie.
Cool too.
Yeah, it really felt like it's going to have a big part in the movie, and I have no idea what it's going to be.
Well, and it's okay. I'm trying to keep it spoiler free. So the thing. Well.
Yeah.
So yeah. I want to dive right into it. But Brian and I have to nerd out about it.
Yeah, well, and if you guys do read it and you want to talk to us about it, like I said, you can always hit us up on our, any of our various forums, and we're more than happy to talk to you about it. But there is something in the end that has to do with the Force.
The 4th issue is Luke.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And
Luke is such a badass.
And they find something really unsuspecting.
Yeah.
And I supremely hope that the thing that Luke made off with, it has, a tie-in to the movie.
Oh, there's no way that it's not.
And if he uses this thing in the exact same way as it was when it found, then that means what he's doing is.
Let's just say that there is some huge possible consequences to what unfolds in the 4th issue of this comic book series.
Yeah.
And more than anything, it's very interesting. I found it very interesting how much the Force and the Skywalkers intertwine with this female pilot and her husband, and what that means going forward for the movie. So there's definitely a lot of, like I said, we're trying to be vague because we don't want to give it away for anybody, but we do highly recommend you guys read this 4-issue arc of Star Wars. It is definitely worth the $16. The artwork is amazing. The story flows. In fact, I was kind of disappointed. It was only 4 issues. It was when it was over.
Yeah,
I want more.
I was down like, oh.
It's written by Greg Rucka, who's written a lot of great stuff. He's done Lazarus. He's done a lot of Marvel and Image, and he's a great writer. And the dialogue pops. The image, the artwork is amazing. It feels like Star Wars right from the beginning, but it's not heavy-handed. It's a great 4-issue series.
It gives you it gives you perspective that the Empire is never going to completely go away.
Yeah.
And
it gives you an idea why and how that could happen.
Yeah. And well, and the explanation of why they gave it, why they said, Empire still has such, control over some areas, it was very, logical. And
I like too how they showed that the Emperor wasn't just an idiot who got thrown down a well and died. He had contingency plans, and he has things that just because he's dead does not mean that.
Plan was pretty.
Yeah, and his presence is really
he
felt
was just
in
like,
this
you know what? If I die,
you're all going down with me, and I wonder how much that's going to play with the.
He just like flipped everybody off and said, "I'm taking you all now."
Well, and I wonder how much that's going to play with the First Order, and and how much of it actually comes from Palpatine and his influence. And anyway, without going too Star Wars nerdy on everybody, needless to say, we're very excited. The comic had a ton of action. It's not all just dialogue. But like I said, my favorite thing about it was that it does a great job of asking more questions, showing you, leading you down the path of how you can say, oh, okay, I see how this could happen, or, oh, I see what's going on now after the fact. But more than that, it really shows how you're going to see the original cast of characters, Luke, Leia, Han, in the new movies. They're a huge part, but they're not the big part. They're,
Han Solo's a general, but there's a lot of generals.
Well,
so
you know what it reminded me of that we always go back to is that animated Batman Assault on Arkham. How Batman really wasn't in the movie, but he was like one of the main characters in the movie. Like his presence was felt throughout the entire thing, but he only was in certain spots, and when he was there, he was awesome. And that's kind of what like Luke and Han and Leia. I did like there was a little teaser where Leia went back to Naboo. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, went to Naboo. Had a little Darth Maul tease in it, which I thought was pretty tight.
Yeah.
So.
Like that.
I don't know. Without giving any, if we talk anymore, we're going to give away everything. But I think we're in agreement on this that we.
Yeah, I definitely suggest anyone that, Brian and I, Comixology. It's great in a digital format. I'm sure it looks just as good on a physical form too. So
yeah,
it's definitely picking up.
Yeah, I believe you have to buy the individual issues. I don't think the trade comes out till after the movie comes out. If you want to wait, I'm sure you can. I doubt anything in the comic book you have to read before you see the movie, but I'm sure you can pick up the trade a little bit cheaper. Yeah, well, I'm sure you can pick up the trade a little bit cheaper on Amazon if you want to, but if you do have the $16, I highly recommend you download it. We get a lot of comics for free from people, but we paid for this because we were really excited about it, and it came highly recommended to us, and we would pass it on to everybody else. We highly recommend this.
Yes.
So
get Shattered Empire. People.
Shattered Empire 1, 2, 3, and 4. Super good. Marvel. Check it out.
And
so that concludes our comics you crave. So let us know if you guys like our new segment and what you think about it, and any ways that we can improve it. Or
do you still have the image up for the one that we're gonna if we want to preview what we're gonna talk about next week, or just show them the cover?
Okay, yeah. You want to tease next week? So me and Ryan have
if you guys think we shouldn't do this, doesn't matter because we're doing it next week, and because Brian pointed out this comic. I don't know how I missed it when I was checking all my stuff this week, but Brian's like, hey, did you hear about do we have a copy of the new Grant Morrison comic? I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it's called Claws. Like, Claws, and
all you have to do is look at the cover. And,
if you look at the cover, and
So next,
you'll
so
you'll want to buy it.
So as a little teaser, next week me and Ryan are going to be talking about this comic book right here. Look at that cover. Claus. Yeah. Santa Claus, people. It is a reimagining of Santa Claus. Look at that.
And Grant Morrison's writing that thing. Dan Morrison, who's the great artist. And
Oh, yeah.
so, yeah, that's going to be our review next week.
Yeah,
so.
I just finished reading it. I'm excited to talk about it. So yeah, next week's on Comics at Crave, we'll be talking about Claus. If you have a comic book that you would like to hear us review, let us know. We'd be more than happy to check it out and talk to
We
the
have a
publishers,
lot
see
of
if we can get it.
connection with all the publishers, and they love it when we talk about their books.
So let us know, and we'd be more than happy to check it out. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on. We have another new segment. This is a show of new segments this week.
Yes.
Trying to get my stuff.
But we got a lot of stuff to do. So
we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So I teased it last week. Ryan has been working extremely hard to get us some cool content to talk about on our show, and one of the first new content that we got that a publisher sent us that says, you know what? Your guys' show is fucking awesome. And that is verbatim. They said that exactly that way. We would be thrilled for us to put our stuff on your show. No, they generously said we would love if you guys could review something for us, and we like your idea of your show, and we have something to send you. So Ryan got us sent the Art of Halo 5 Guardians book. So he sent it to me. He asked me to take a look at it, and I did. And so we're gonna bust out a new segment. It's basically Geek Dad Reviews, where we will review these wonderful items that people send us.
yes, I got a lot of emails, so there could be a lot more coming. So
yeah. So hopefully I don't totally fuck this one up. We'll see.
yeah.
A little nervous, Ryan. This is my first on-air real review. You get a drink of water here. I'll try and make it short, people.
Oh. And next week, I'm going to be trying to get to these ones. I got Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. And it's from the Warriors of Batman and Superman. So I'll be trying to review that one by next week. That's a lot of reading to do. So
nice. Well, for all you iTunes listeners, this is going to be kind of a visual segment. I have the book in my hands, and we're specifically showing this cool thing off on the YouTube channel. So you can listen along and check it out if you'd like to. But
yes.
Just letting you know, I can't spend all day. It's an art book, so I can't detail everything that you're going to see on the YouTube show. Sorry. All right, so as you can see, this is a big hardcover book. Basically, it said The Art of Halo 5 Guardians. Is pretty self-explanatory. This is a book about all the artwork that went into making the game of Halo 5. There's the back. You get a little tease of what you're going to see inside the book here. I'm going to take the cover off so I can show everybody what we got. This book is from Inside Editions, is the publisher. It's obviously it's based on Halo 5, the 343 game for Microsoft Studios. It's 208 pages. It comes in hard copy. It's the only way you can get it right now. And the first thing you notice about this book is the artwork is absolutely breathtaking. I don't know if you guys can see some of these pictures here, but
I can see them just fine.
But look at that. This book, when I opened it up, I was amazed at how beautiful it was. If I would have had 20 frames and could take these out and frame these pictures, I would. I mean, obviously, I'm a big Halo fan. I've kind of talked about it at length in the past, but even if you're not a Halo fan and you can appreciate good art, you could really appreciate this book. It's beautiful. Every picture is, they went to full page spreads on a lot of these things. Everything is massively detailed. I mean, look at that one. That's one of my favorites.
That's pretty sweet looking.
Most of the portraits in this book are 2-page layouts, so you get these huge, concept design artwork, and all these are all the actual original designs from the artists and the production team for the game, and they took them and they made it look really pretty. They glossed the pages and they put it all in one book. So, like I said, the first thing you notice about this book is how absolutely stunning the artwork is, and it really is. The next thing you notice about, though, that I really liked is that most of the pictures have little notes from the production team and the artists of what you're looking at, and it goes into deeper meaning on what each picture means and stuff like that. So anybody's not familiar with what this artwork actually is whenever a studio makes a game, the first thing they do is they go to the concept room, and they get a team of artists and people together where they talk about what the game's going to look like, designs, aesthetically. They have to draw everything before they map it, put it into their computers, and turn it into a game. And so this is all the artists and the team putting together their original ideas for the stuff, the concept art, have you. And so, like if you go to the back here, they have a section on the character designs. Let me find it here. Oh, here's one on weapons. So as you can see on this one, the weapons, they break down like how they started their first couple of drawings, their finished drawings, what it ended up looking like. They break down all the little different things, and these are what get used to sent to the computer programmers who actually program the video game. But they go into, this book is great because it goes into detail on each little thing about how they got to the process. Like here's a couple character designs where they start out with a Forerunner and kind of what the finished product is. There's another Forerunner. Like I said, if you like seeing how something starts and then what it looks like as a finished product, this is definitely worth owning. I've never had a book like this, so this is the first one that I've ever had where you have an art of a video game. This is definitely not going to be my last one that I have because of it, but this book does a great job of showing you, kind of walking you through the process of how they started and what their ideas were and how it ended up becoming the finished product. So there's not a ton of writing in it. Obviously, it's more of a visual book than it is a writing book. There's a lot of these little, can't really read it, but there's a lot of these little notes throughout the pages. My only real complaint is they're really interesting in getting a look into the mind of the people who are designing this. I would have liked even just a little bit more because it was such an interesting read. I was able to flip through this book pretty much in about a day, partly because it really interests me, so I blew through it pretty fast, but that's my only real complaint with the book is I would like to see just a little more in-depth look into what their thought processes were by changing some things and adding some things. But that's being said, the book doesn't suffer because of it. It's still got a lot of really cool in-depth looks on everything. Basically, it covers about 5 different chapters. It starts out with environments. Basically, the first part shows you all the different worlds and stuff that you're going to see. The second part goes into characters, so they show all the different Spartans and how they design them, and it's really cool because they talk about how all the different thought processes that went into each Spartan's individual look and why they made them that way, and the Arbiter and the bad guys. If you've never played Halo, some of the stuff I'm saying is probably gibberish, so I apologize for that. But they also then they go into weapons and vehicles, and then they go into like the multiplayer maps and stuff like that. So they do a good job of taking each part of the Halo universe in the game and kind of showing how they did it, where they started. There is some spoilers in here, so if you haven't played the game, I'm about halfway through the game. There was a few things I didn't know was coming. I do now. But they don't give away any plot details. There's just a few of the home worlds and a few bad guys that you're going to face and see, and nothing that's going to ruin the game, but there's definitely a few spoilers with it. So if you pick it up and you haven't played the game yet, just be a little warned. The other thing that I thought was really interesting too is Halo has received a lot of criticism because a lot of the trailers for the game shows gameplay and ideas that did not show up in the actual finished game. So a lot of people thought it was misleading. The cool thing about this book is you actually see a lot of those concepts in here, and you actually get an idea of where they decided to go away from those and move to a different part of the story. So if you're interested at all in the story and how they came up with how they changed some stuff, this actually gives you a pretty good look at like what they were thinking as they moved on and the different looks that the character did. So, long story short, there's actually a lot of stuff crammed into a 200-page book that's mostly just full of art.
Yeah. Does it give you a better perspective, kind of like, or more appreciation? I would have to say, like while you're playing the game.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I haven't had a chance to play the game. I'm going to play tomorrow since I've read this book. So obviously I haven't played it and said, oh, okay, I noticed that in my book. I really do think that it's gonna. There's a lot of things in here that I noticed that I've played all the Halo games and I've been a diehard Halo fan. I've read the books that I didn't even notice just by looking at this book. I mean, there's if you're not a Halo fan, you can appreciate this just for the art, but you're definitely going to get the most appreciation for it if you are a Halo fan. There's going to be a lot of little things that you didn't see before. Like for me, the Elite's homeworld, I can never pronounce it. It's like Saint Galius or something. You know, in my mind, I've always visualized it, but I've never seen it. In this book, let's see if I can find the page. They lay out the entire planet in this book, and it's gorgeous. I mean, for me, I actually finally now have a good visual image. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. I should have marked it. Been easy to see. It's the glass world. But you know, in my head, obviously I haven't got to that part in the game yet, but in my brain, I always kind of visualize what that planet looks like, and now I actually get to see it. It's, you know, just one of the capital city, you know, and so it's that aspect's really cool. It's added some extra depth from being a fan of Halo that I didn't have before. So that is something I did not expect when I opened this book up and took a look at it, but.
So would you say that for someone who is a fan like you, and for like gift for like holidays and stuff like that?
If you have anybody who is a Halo fan and they get this as a present, they're gonna be like, this is pretty cool. It's not a video game. It may not be a giant Spartan Warhog like that. But anybody who can appreciate the artwork and appreciates the characters, yeah, this is definitely. If I got this as a gift, I would be like, this is awesome. Thank you very much. It is, you know, the book itself, I give a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I only dock it a half a star just because I'd like just a little more, for the price point and as thick as it is. I would like to see just a little more, you know, wording, just a little more explanation on what I'm looking at certain times. I mean, they give little titles of what exactly it is, but they don't tell you, go into depth on where the process is.
You crave all the extra knowledge. Yes. You want all that background info.
Yeah, because I'm very interested in the property and the artwork drew me in even more. I wanted to know everything about what I was looking at. So I would have liked to see just a little more in-depth, take on what I was looking at. That being said, like I said, there's still plenty just for the casual fan. They do a decent job of explaining what you're looking at and going into depth. Maybe not as deep as I'd like it to go, but it definitely did. But the book itself, you know, like I said, solid 4.5 out of 5. It is absolutely beautiful. If you're into artwork and you just want a beautiful thing to look at, yeah, this would be a great coffee table book. I guarantee you that if I put this on my coffee table, every single person who came to my house would flip through it at least once and be like, wow, that's really cool. Even people who didn't like Halo might say, well, that's a good looking book. I will say the price point is a little high. I've never had books like this before, so I don't know if it's I haven't had a chance to research. The price point is they're asking us $45 if you bought it from the publisher.
That's about a normal price point.
Okay.
For something like that.
I was gonna say, if that's a normal price point, then it's right on par with all the other books you can get. I'd much rather have this book than a book of like some just random artwork from some dude from France. I don't care. I'd rather have this. This is way cooler than some. I mean, they were talking about some dude named Picasso. I don't know who the hell that is. You guys, nobody.
Picasso.
Way cooler. But I know you can get if $45 is a little bit much for your price point, even for a gift for somebody, you can get this on Amazon for about $30. So at $30, I'd say this is definitely a buy. I would personally buy this book. I would buy it for $45, but I would definitely buy it for $30 if it were me. But I'm a giant Halo fan. Also, one other little thing it does come with is a little added bonus. If you have the game, you can. They have this cool mode called Warzone where you can get extra, call them rec packs, where you can unlock skins and grab bonus drops and stuff for the game. It does come with a free rec pack, code. I'd show you the back, but it's got the code, and that's for me. So
yeah, and we don't want people if they use up your code before you log in and play.
Yeah, and I'm doing it tomorrow. So if anybody would like to join me on Halo, Jedi Killer 153, I'll be on Friday nights. But yeah, so. But like I said, it's a cool little thank you for buying the book. For me, it was a nice little touch. You could probably pick these up for a few bucks, but it's a nice little way of saying, hey, thanks for buying a book. We're gonna give you something cool for the game too. So, yeah. All in all, I love this book. I highly recommend it to anybody who wants a book of super awesome artwork and a super sweet in-depth look of how Halo got made.
That's just plants and stuff.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, dude. This book goes into depth about everything.
That's sweet.
Like, there's one point. The last little thing I'll say is there's a point where they have this world that's been glassed by the Covenant, and they're rebuilding this world. And so they originally wanted to put like a fountain in this world, and they were like in the main square. And so they were talking about in the book. They're telling this little story about how everything that they wanted in the world needed to fit in the world. And so they're like, well, if we have this world that's light on resources and they're rebuilding, they're probably not going to have this mountain of a fountain in the middle of the town square. So they end up replacing it with a tree, which can grow and represents life and stuff like that. And it's just I said I should have marked the picture, but it's just those little details that add stuff that when I get to that part in the game, I'm going to be like, I know what that's for, and that's awesome. I mean, here's Spartan Locke, one of the main characters. They just break down his different look, a couple of the looks he went through, a couple of the different designs that they decided to try before they came up with the finished product. I don't know. Like I said, I recommend this book. It's a great breakdown of how it started, the process it went through, and then the final product, and it looks really, really good.
So if you're a Halo fan, or if you know Halo fans,
if you're a Halo fan, this is a must own. Yeah. If you're not a Halo fan but a art appreciator, I also think this is a must own. If you got any kind of friends and you go into a Christmas, we got holidays right around the corner, and you're looking for a cool present to get somebody is a geek gamer, but you don't know it quite to get them because they've already got everything, get them this book. It's awesome. Highly recommend it. So, thank you Inside Editions and 343 Studios and Microsoft for sending this to us. I love it, and I'm glad I'm going to have it on my shelf. So, thank you.
Yay! That was our first review.
So that was the first one. Hopefully they will get a little tighter as they go. That's the first one. I was actually a little nervous for that one, believe it or not.
I'm not surprised.
So let us know what you think. If there's something you'd like us to review, we can petition people to send it to us, or you can send it to us. I will be reviewing this awesome Tauntaun that Trevor got me.
Yeah, and where did I keep putting those damn books? Oh, they're behind me. And I don't know if I can read 3. You had to read 1. Look at this shit.
Well, you can do 1, and you can send me 1, and I'll do 1.
Okay.
All right. So moving on, we got Q&A. We don't have a lot of questions tonight, so we'll make it snappy.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody who did send us a question. I put up the post a little late tonight, so I apologize if anybody wanted to send us a question, but didn't know where to send it to. So we had a couple of people who did text us questions, so I don't know if you want to. I think you had one.
Yeah, yeah, I had a question.
Do you have it ready?
I can have it ready, right? So I got one from Jody in Washington. She wants to know, what was the best Halloween costume you saw this year?
Ooh, the best Halloween costume I saw?
See, we went kind of early, and so we were like some of the first people out, like in the neighborhood. Not the same. My kids had the best costume. And I saw some kids, wearing some cheap masks. Not as cool as mine.
I didn't see one cool, individual costume. I mean, there were some decent ones. There was one that I was totally inappropriate. We were trick-or-treating we went up to Edmonds, and they shut down the whole city, and we were able to trick-or-treat with some friends. There was a dude wearing a Cousin Eddie costume. So he had the hat, and he had, the bathrobe, but his bathrobe was way too short, and he wasn't wearing pants or a shirt, and I'm like, and there's a lot of kids running around here.
Yeah.
There was a whole family of 5 that were all dressed in Star Wars. The pregnant mom was dressed as R2, so it hit her belly. It was pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, they were all different themed. They got an A grade from me. The best one I think I saw though was actually a dog that was dressed as Darth Vader.
Oh, nice.
He had the helmet on, the black cape on the back, the outfit, and he even was trained to hold the candy bucket in his mouth. That thing was overflowing with candy. People were just throwing candy at that dog.
Yeah. And then the dog eats a chocolate and dies. Thanks, people.
I'm going to say the best costume I saw were my girls, my kids, of course. Yeah. Elsa and Vampire. They were great. It's amazing.
And then she had a follow-up question, was a quick one. Who's going to win the Apple Cup this year?
Huskies. UW.
Huskies. Jody, if we said anything else,
throw up the gang signs.
Shouldn't be my sister anymore. So, But yeah, we're both dog fans.
Yeah, go Dogs. Phil is
Suck
gonna
it,
hate that.
Mitchell,
Phil is a
my
Cougar fan.
cousin who went to WSU.
I think Phil's hunting, so I don't think he's gonna hear it. He'll be mad. He's a Cougar fan.
Yeah,
Let's see. We got a couple questions from Chris, but we got 3 questions from Chris's. Chris and his
a lot of
mortal
Chris's.
enemy, Chris. So Chris from Utah, he wants to know what's the least favorite of the new Bond films.
Oh man, my least favorite. What was the Pierce Brosnan one where it's water? Was that Quantum of
Uh,
Solace?
no, Tomorrow Never Dies.
I think so.
I think he was talking about. I think Chris was talking about the new about the Daniel Craig ones, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Tomorrow Never Dies was pretty bad. Die Another Day with Holly Berry, that was pretty bad with Pierce Brosnan too. Pretty much
Mhm.
Goldeneye was his best one.
Yeah, GoldenEye was only good because of the Super Nintendo game. So,
Yeah, that was cool. No,
of the of
that was actually
the
at Nintendo 64. Get your nerd facts right.
yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Uh, of the Daniel Craig ones, I would have to say Skyfall is still my favorite.
you know what's funny is everybody hates on Quantum of Solace. That's always the favorite. See, me, I have a different perspective. To me, Quantum of Solace is just an extension of Casino Royale. It's really one movie, and I've always kind of viewed it as that. So I didn't hate Quantum of Solace.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy it. Truthfully, Skyfall kind of bored me. I didn't like Skyfall as
Really?
much as everybody else did. I didn't hate it by any means. It was a good movie. I just, for me,
I like the aspect of learning, like his beginning basically, and
when it comes
a
to
little
my
bit.
Bond, I like my Bond just shooting things and blowing shit up like
Yeah.
fast. I
Well,
don't
it
really want a
definitely.
long story.
Yeah. Well,
I
I
like
saw
Jason
Spectre
Bourne.
last night, so I'll be talking about that later.
I
So
like Jason Bourne. I grew up on the Pierce Brosnan, Timothy Dalton Bonds where everybody just got shot. So,
yeah,
you know,
everyone got shot, ladies got laid, and fancy cars. That's all you did.
yeah, I would have to. The new Bond, I loved all. I really enjoy all the new Daniel Craig movies. But if I had to rank mine, I'd say Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, and then Skyfall for me. And I
Mhm.
haven't seen the new one yet, so I believe somebody did that we'll talk about soon. Moving along here, Chris had one more question. He wanted to know. Let's see. It's kind of a long question. So basically, there's a rumor that Warner Brothers is going to do a Red Hood movie. That the Batman standalone movie is actually going to be a Batman Red Hood movie. Um, and he wants to know if we think it's going to be Jason Todd, resurrected Jason Todd as Red Hood, or if it's going to be Nightwing, well, Dick Grayson, and if it's going to be anywhere as good as the animated property. I think it's going to be Jason Todd, and I do think
Now,
it's going to be
now,
Grayson.
can you explain that like super quickly for
Okay,
the
so
people that probably wouldn't know?
super quick nerd knowledge for everybody. If you want to be completely spoiler free, now's your chance to turn away for about a minute. So basically, in the comic books, Jason Todd was the second Robin who was brutally killed by the Joker in the 80s. Later, they brought him back. There's a couple different ways they brought him back. The first time they brought him back, Supergirl punched reality, which made no sense. So they initially settled on a way that made a little bit more sense, that Ra's al Ghul actually stole Jason Todd's body and resurrected him from the Lazarus pit. As anybody who's currently watching Arrow knows, that anybody who comes back from the Lazarus pit doesn't quite come back the same. So Jason Todd, when he came back, had all the training that he did with Robin, but he was a little more violent and kind of held a little bit of a grudge that Batman didn't kill the Joker for killing him. So he took the monocle, the name of the Red Hood, which was actually the Joker's original name before he became the Joker. When Joker was just a petty criminal, he was part of the Red Hood gang. So Jason Todd, kind of as a slap to the Joker, took on the Red Hood. So in the original comic book, when he first comes back, him and Batman go at it until later Jason Todd actually becomes part of the Bat family and helps, even though he's still kind of violent, likes to shoot guns. But the rumor is for the new Batman movie, solo movie, the standalone that's going to be coming out, I don't know, 2018 or 19 or so, is that it's going to be the Jason Todd storyline, which they've already teased in the Batman v Superman trailer by showing the Robin costume that Joker has clearly desecrated.
Yeah.
So I think if they do I think the only way you can do Red Hood, Chris, is if you're going to do it, you have to do Jason Todd. And I think it'd be cool. I actually would like to see Nightwing or Dick Grayson show up at some point in this new expanded universe. So I think it'd be cool if they did Jason Todd. I don't think it'll ever be as good as the cartoons. I think the DC animated Batman movies, I've said many times, Mask of the Phantasm is my favorite Batman movie, period. Just because I think DC animation gets it right. So, no, I don't think it'll be as good as the animated, but that's not to say that I don't think the movie's going to be really good. I do think the movie will be good. The animation is so good.
Yeah, I can't tell people enough. Like when they ask me, about DC movies and stuff like that, I say just start getting the animated ones,
Yeah. And the one that,
just start with like Flashpoint or something like that.
or start with the one that Chris is referencing, Batman Under the Red Hood. It is so good, so good. So yeah, watch them. They're all amazing. Well, almost all of them are amazing. There's a couple that aren't as good, but
I haven't been let down yet.
I haven't been let down. There's just been ones that aren't as good as the other ones. Mm-hmm. All right, so thanks, Chris, for your questions. So Chris's mortal enemy, Chris from Washington, had a question.
Which one has a goatee?
That is Chris from Washington.
So.
And he comes with his usual non-PC questions. He wants to know if a Kardashian dies, is it considered a tragedy or a national holiday?
It's not considered. No one's really going to give a shit.
Depends on which groups you're running. If E Entertainment would probably shut down for the day.
Yeah, they would shut down and like just go black screen.
Now, mind you, nobody on the Geek Dad Report, Ryan or myself, do not condone or wish death upon any of the Kardashians. However, if something happened to them, I wouldn't care. I'm sorry. I just wish they'd go away, honestly.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you built a multi-billion-dollar empire off Kim Kardashian's booty. Congratulations. No one cares.
They're screwing some guy.
Yeah, she made a porno and now she's famous. If it was that easy, I'd release a porno.
Yes.
I don't think anybody would want to see that, though. Well, maybe a few people would. All right, so, and the last question we have is Brian from Washington texted me in a question. He wanted to know, let's see here, let's see if I can find it. What comic book character would we like to hang out with for an entire weekend?
Oh, man, an entire weekend?
Yeah, I'd say Deadpool, but I don't know if you'd survive.
Yeah, no, you would not survive Deadpool with a weekend.
Definitely not Batman. It'd be no fun. Way too serious.
Well, what if it was just Bruce Wayne?
Still, way too serious. Tony Stark, maybe.
Yeah.
But then again, he doesn't like to party, so...
Well, if you're going from Tony Stark from, like, Iron Man, beginning of Iron Man 2...
Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't know.
Where he's like...
Maybe Tony Stark from Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
Definitely not Captain America.
Yeah, he would just be too, like...
You spend all weekend at the Library of Congress.
He's still trying to get caught up on his music.
Hulk would smash you. He'd get mad. And...
Superman, maybe.
I'd like to hang out with Spider-Man. He'd be fun.
That's probably a good one. Spider-Man would just, because he's a teenager, so...
Yeah, he's got the booze stash and the...
Yeah.
I sound like a drunk every time I'm like, no, I can't hang out with that hero. He doesn't drink. I can't hang out with that one either.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a parent, so
Man.
My weekends, if I have weekends away from kids hanging out with people, they involve booze, people. That's, I'm a 30-plus-year-old dad of 2. I drink. Not heavily, but I do drink. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if I hung out with Spider-Man, I couldn't relate. It'd be like, this young kid, You know what? There's no superheroes I want to hang out with. Their lives suck. I don't want to hang out with any of them. Yeah, I guess maybe Superman. He could probably, take you around. You could do some cool stuff.
I would say Superman or, like you said, Spider-Man.
Yeah, that'd be cool. There you go. If you guys, thanks, Brian. If you guys would like to tell us who you'd like to spend the weekend hanging out with, a superhero, then let us know. I think we should deserve credit for not going Jean Grey. Some hot.
I want to be with...
I wouldn't want to hang out with Jean Grey. She wears spandex and she could read my mind. That would be a bad weekend.
Yeah, that would not... No, she would just look at me and just...
You're out. And then
she'd be shaking her
use her
head.
telekinesis to flick us into the sky. All right,
Yeah.
so thank you everybody once again for your questions. We appreciate all of them, and I will try next week to get the post up a little earlier, but it was a busy day at work today. So, like I said, thank you. You can always, if you got a question and we haven't put it up, you can always hit us up on our Facebook or Twitter, or send us a direct message, and we will answer it on the show. So, thank you. We have ran really long, so we'll do our recommendations speedy, super fast. Ryan, as always.
Spectre, saw it last night at the advanced screening. If you like James Bond movies where James Bond has planes, trains, and automobiles, and shoots guns, and lays at least 2 to 3 chicks, this is a Bond movie for you. And if you don't like James Bond, you're probably just going to be, a little bored or whatnot. But it's a Bond movie. I mean, it's a quintessential Bond movie. So, I don't know. If you don't want to see it, don't see it. If you like Bond movies, go see it. That's my recommendation for this week.
There you go. If you like Bond movies, go see Spectre. It's got Bond, and it's a Bond movie.
Yeah, it's a Bond movie. I mean, there's no other way of putting it.
Master Chief approves. There you go.
My only thing I didn't like about it was when they were on the train, and as someone who had just rode on a train, they're on a train and it doesn't move, and it's like they're on the smoothest train in North Africa that's ever been created in the history of mankind.
It's not
just like sitting there chilling, nothing's moving or shaking or going like this. I sat in a dining car and they had to put lids on all of our cups and shit like that. But no, they're sitting there to put a martini thing on the table and they pour them into little martini glasses and shit, and nothing's moving or rattling.
So are you saying your biggest problem with the Bond movie is its realism?
Yes, on a train.
All right. Well, thank you, Ryan, for your recommendation. From early ticket sales, I'm sure there's going to be about 80 million people who, well, maybe not that many, a bunch of people who took your recommendation to go see Bond. My recommendation is to watch Ash versus the Evil Dead, or Evil Dead on Starz.
Oh, God, I gotta do that.
I watched the premiere last Friday. They had an early premiere on Starz. One of my friends cued me into it, and I watched it, and it's awesome. It is so good. It is
I gotta watch
exactly like the movies. It's amazing. It's awesome. Bruce Campbell is Ash. I mean, he wears that character like a glove. It's if you love the old series, it is exactly like it, and it's fun. It's gory. It's great. I don't know. Ash vs. Evil Dead airs on Saturday nights. I highly, highly recommend you watch it. It is a ton of fun, and you will laugh and enjoy it a lot. So, it's about all the time we got. Got anything else?
Yes. We spent a lot of time. So
It's okay. We introduced some new segments. So, on that note, thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next week.
Let us know what you think about the new stuff.
Yeah, let us know what you think about the new segments.
Need feedback. Any feedback.
All feedback is welcome. All right, on that note. Oh, hang on. Wrong one. On that note.
Ain't even a cent to make enough. We was out there chasing after stuff that you only find in your dreams of the nights when you're looking up. And I remember so many times it was looking tough. So I wrote an extra rhyme when I took the bus, cause I knew there'd be a time that would open up, that I get a chance to shine hard if I do it tough. So I did it and put everything in it, gotta be with it, never